In today's Sharp Saturday video, we're going to take a look at a brand new knife from a fairly new knife company. The knife company is KNAFS, K-N-A-F-S, and the knife is this Lulu in Magnacut. That's what's going up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's Sharp Saturday video, where it's Saturday. We take a look at something sharp. And like I said, of course, that's something sharp is this KNAFS knife Lulu fixed blade in Magnacut. It has some pretty cool features. We're going to get to doing some of that science with this thing in just a minute. But first, as usual, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's words are from the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 16. I think this is the NLT. The wise are cautious and avoid danger. Fools plunge ahead with reckless confidence. And, of course, big thanks to my friends at XS Sights, who make the only sights I trust my life to on any pistol I carry to protect myself and my family. I'm really happy to have XS Sights as a sponsor after being a paying customer of theirs for years and years. They are literally the fastest sights in any light. They're made in the USA, and they're made by people who shoot and know what it takes to hit your target. XS Sights, absolutely my favorite sights. And if you use the code SOP15, you'll probably be glad you did. So thanks again to XS Sights for sponsoring today's video. Now, why don't we get down to the old stump top and get to doing some of that nice stuff. You want to? Alrighty, well, here's a little closer look at the KNAFS Lulu. If I called it Lula a minute ago, I was wrong. It's Lulu. Says so right there on the blade. So let's talk about this thing. It's a reasonably small knife, and it has an overall length of 6 3/4 inches. For those of you still stuck in that old metric system, that's 171.5 millimeters. As you can see, it's a full tang knife all the way down, and the blade length on this one is 2.95 inches or 74.9 millimeters. And it is 0.127 inches thick, or 3.24 millimeters. The blade steel is a stonewash finish Magnacut with a hardness, Rockwell hardness of 62. It's a drop point Scandi grind blade with a 34-degree micro bevel, which is 17 on both sides. And then the handle is 0.86 inches, or 21.85 millimeters thick, layered green micarta handle with red G10 liners, which look pretty cool. This knife weighs 4.1 ounces or 116 grams. And you see it's got flathead screws holding the handle on, so it's easily serviceable with regular tools. You don't have to have special tools. If you want to take it apart and just keep it clean. Kydex sheath is just black plastic Kydex sheath. It has adjustable retention here, and it has a plastic belt loop. And depending on how you want to carry it, this is a small enough knife to carry EDC in your pocket. Also has a strap down here. I think that it would be a perfect fit for an Ulti-Clip Slim to carry this in your pocket. But either way, that'd be up to you. This thing is made in the USA, which is pretty cool. Very, very well done. Nice little bit of jimping right here. Feels really good in your hand. And it's a great small little EDC size fixed blade. The MSRP on this one, again, it's made in the USA, is $245. So it's not super cheap, but it's very, very well done. Got a nice swell there, like I said, just feels good. And a lanyard hole. So now, and it fits in the sheath very well. And I haven't, that's the retention is at the lowest, so you can change that. All right, so that's cool. Now, what about science? Because you know we're all about science here. And one of the things I like to test, one of the standardized tests I like to do to keep this process consistent, is to test the sharpness of every blade out of the box. And to do so, I use what is pretty much the internationally recognized standard sharpness test, the redneck sharp test. So we're going to do that now. And man, that blade looks really good too, by the way. Let's see how she does. We got the testing medium here. Going to hold this thing very lightly. Oh man. Oh man. Look at that. That's just down. Woo, baby. Butter smooth. Look at that. Look at all that hair there. Let's try the other side. Keep it even. Oh man, look at that. Golly. Man, okay, woo. Yep. I think we can add KNAFS to the list of the companies that did not get the memo. You know which one I'm talking about, the one that that so many people have sent me that say any idiot knows that you have to sharpen any new knife. That's the first scientific testing. Now let's just maintain the proper consistency and do things right here. So one of the next thing I like to do is to test and see how well I can baton with this thing, with the knife. And this is certainly a smaller blade, but it should be, it ought to work like right there. That should be fine. It's 3-inch blade, so we're going to carve us off a little something here just to see if we can find something that will allow us to carve some of them there curls that we need to do next, so we can try to see how well this thing does in fire prep, because that's the standardized testing that I've decided to adopt over the years. So here we go. Alrighty. And no worries there. Look how smooth that edge is, so smooth. They did a really good job of finishing this blade. All right, let's see how well this thing does on making some of them there curls, or we can get us one in there fars. You want to? Let's see. We just carve. Okay, get you out of the way. Get you a little smoothness going there. And let's see. So we got a scanty grind with a micro bevel. Which is very different from the last knife I was testing, so bear with me while I get used to this grind again. But I tell you, it's like cutting through this wood like butter, and I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. Alrighty, have a look at those. Check it there. Not bad. All right, let's see what we got here. Alrighty, there's some curls. All right, so next, you know where we're going next. Got some fat wood here. Let's see how well this thing will scrape some fat wood, because you know I love me some fat wood. Let's see if I can get some of this oxidation off of here. Now let's see if it'll scrape. It doesn't feel like a really sharp spine, but we'll see what happens. Try the different parts of it. All right. Well, it's doing better than I thought it would. Let's see how these little jimpings do. Not great, they just get clogged up. All right, we're gonna call that one. Oh man, get a whiff, you want a whiff? Oh yeah, good stuff right there. All right, now let's see what happens next. You know what's next, right? We're going to see if we can get us a fire started with all this little bit of tinder we just made. Just proof of concept. I hope you know if I was trying to build a real fire, there'd be a whole lot more stuff here. So let's see what happens. And man, that's why I love me some fat wood. Alrighty, moving right along. Alrighty, well that was some of the practical testing of the KNAFS Lulu. But like I said here at Survival on Purpose, we are all about the science, and to that end, as you know, we maintain a state-of-the-art, cutting-edge knife testing facility here at our worldwide headquarters. And if you've seen many of these videos, you know that one test I like to do on every fixed blade knife is to test the aerodynamic balance using the balance, orientation, and rotation device, which is sorely in need of renewal, and that's coming soon. But this is a really pretty knife. I really, honestly, hate to bang it up, probably get blue paint on it, but we're gonna give it a shot here. And as usual, as always, scientific methodology is critical, so let's go. Whoop, 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 whoop. A little low, but it's stuck. Let me get a little closer. Whoop, 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 whoop. Balk. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm babying it. I tend to do that with these little knives. Whoop. 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 Okay. Whoop. Oh, I'm beating the heck out of it, so I guess we'll find out how tough it is. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, man, finally. Okay, we're gonna get one more time just for fun because I'm tired of throwing this thing. Of course it's stuck, which means I gotta do it one more time. Whoop. Okay, we got 2 in a row. We can call that one a home run. All right, well, that's the KNAFS Lulu made in the USA Magnacut blade knife, fixed blade. Very, very useful little blade in my opinion. It's extremely compact, extremely lightweight, but very, very tough. Magnacut steel. Got a nice edge on it, very nice edge on it in fact, and it feels really good in my hand. Even if you got bigger hands, you can still have a 3-finger grip on it. Small enough to carry for whatever you need to carry a knife for. And if the chips are down, you could use this thing to get yourself a fire going, which is always good. So thanks again to the folks at KNAFS for sending me this so I could show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. Be prepared. I'll see you next time.